Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Let the games begin. Huge shout out to the pugilism planet out there. Hope y'all having a great day. Hope your day's productive. Hope you're not stressed out. If you're stressed out, take it to the Most High, Yahweh, Yeshua. That's where I go. Read the scriptures. Calm you down. Give you solutions. We got to talk about this Queensberry versus Matchroom, or Matchroom versus Queensberry, however you want to put it. I'm gonna take a little time to let everybody roll in. Popcorn Boxing, shout out to you. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. Thanks for taking time out of your day to come check out Jay Roos, aka the Jay Roos Theory. You hear me clearly? Don't get me to rapping. Speaking of rapping, man, I don't like none. I don't like the Kendrick diss. I think it was nothing that stood out. I didn't like the Drake diss. I didn't think nothing stood out. Rick Ross is sound like he's reading it off paper. Dude, really go back to the '90s and listen to diss songs. You hear some classics. There was nothing that stood out, but that's another topic. Eminem, shout out to you. Sup, Wilder going to sleep? Yeah, I do believe so. I do believe Wilder is not gonna beat Zhang, but we can talk about it. Charlene in the building says, "Hey, what's up with you, Charlene? Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for tuning in." Popcorn Boxing says, "Wow, PBC goons going to be mad. Boots and Wilder signed with her." Yeah, when did you ever? It sounds like it's just for this one fight so far, but Eddie Hearn said at the press conference that we'll see what the future holds, and I want Wilder to win just so we can get that AJ Wilder fight. But you know, let's just talk since y'all coming in. Let's just talk about it. Queensberry versus Matchroom. We got Frank Warren versus Eddie Hearn. Y'all see the epic trailer? That was theatrical, wasn't it? Man, Saudis are making us look bad on how to promote a fight and how to make everything come together and look exciting to get all these people on the same card. We got Bivol and Baturbiev in the main event, and I'm a heavyweight guy, so I'm looking forward most to Deontay Wilder Zhang. I'm looking forward to Hergovich versus how am I gonna forget his name? Golly, Hergovich versus Daniel Dubois. There we go. Wow, how did I forget that? But you guys watch the press conference. Everybody comes in with their masks on. I'm sure Deontay loved the mask thing. Did he cut his dreads off, or were they just slicked back or something? But it sounds like he's focused. I heard Malik Scott. It sounds like he's focused. Malik Scott is friends with Zhang's trainer. They have huge respect for each other. But sounds like Deontay is remotivated, and it makes you wonder. I saw another platform, Boxing Block Squared. Shout out to him. He did a video saying, "Is Wilder like re-energized by watching Anthony Joshua's comeback?" Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. Popcorn Boxing says Wilder has a puncher's chance. Zhang is a bit more static. What is that? Is a bit more static. Parker? Is that a typo, Mr. Popcorn? Is that what that is? Oh, it's a bit more static than Parker. I got you. If Zhang comes in lighter, it's going to be a long night for Deontay. Can anyone see Wilder's legs not snapping when he feels power? That's what I'm thinking. I think when he feels the weight again, like he's going to get reminders of Fury, except this dude can punch a lot harder than Fury from what I understand. And when he clinches Deontay, which I know he will, he's going to weaken them legs probably before he goes in for that crushing power shot. So he's going to probably clinch him for a while, maybe 2 to 3 rounds, weaken Deontay's legs, and he has to stay out of the way of Deontay's right hand, though, in the meantime. Because Deontay can put him on his back, but it's not going to be easy putting a guy that heavy down. Popcorn said, yes, a typo. I got you, man. Popcorn Boxing says, any news on the purses? That's an interesting question. Now, I haven't heard what they're getting paid, but when you look at the promo, it looks like money is definitely not an object for the Saudis. They're just like, what you guys need? What you got? You guys got a car note? What? You buying a house? Here you go. It's getting real interesting. I understand Luis Ortiz has called out Jared Anderson. We got Gervonta Davis online dissing. Shout out to Mr. Prodigal Chung. Big up, Jay. Big up to you, man. Mr. Prodigal. I appreciate you coming through. Charlene said Wilder cut his hair because it was weighing down. I know. Was that his? He might want to keep his hair just in case he loses. He'll have an excuse, huh? That's funny. Mr. Prodigal Chung says, who do you have for Shiraz versus Ammo Williams? See, the thing is, I don't even know enough about those two. I don't even know enough about them. I'll have to update my catalog on those two. I hear that's one of the best fights on the card, though. We got Nick Ball too on the card. Just had a thought. We have not even mentioned the main event. Shows how good the card is. Yeah, Baturbiev and Bivol. I got Bivol. I wouldn't be mad at you if you got Baturbiev. 20 wins, 20 knockouts. I just think Bivol has seen every style. He shut down Canelo, who could punch, so I don't see any reason why he can't shut down Baturbiev. But like I said, I wouldn't be mad at you if you got Baturbiev in that one. AJ Roos just breezing by. Kind of late over here. Hey man, Bon Scott, thanks for coming through. Yeah, man, you guys are 5 hours ahead of me. I had to handle a lot of business downtown Atlanta today, so yeah, thanks for coming through though, man. Shiraz is Shariz, hope I'm saying it right, is a good prospect. That's all made Liam Williams look like the shot fighter he is, so we will see. Okay, I'm gonna have to check him out because I hear a lot of good things about him. I just haven't seen enough of them to make a proper assessment. We got the Blue Baron in the building touching down, y'all. He says, yo, Jay Roos, got the flags up. America, Great Britain in the building, y'all. Thanks for coming through, Blue Baron. We got Puro in the building. Puro, that's right. Y'all coming through thick tonight. Y'all coming through to see me. I appreciate that. We got to talk about this Queensberry Matchroom. Like I said, Gervonta Davis is out there dissing Jared Big Baby Anderson on X, formerly known as Twitter. Somebody asked him what he was doing. He said, I'm watching this boring heavyweight. And he called him, I'm going to give the PG version. Instead of Big Baby, he called him Big Crappy. Big Crappy. So apparently Gervonta Davis is not impressed with Jared Big Baby Anderson. I was thinking Big Baby's not a good nickname for him since he was crying in front of Roy Jones. He might want to change that. Mr. Prodigal says, I like both light heavyweights. Honestly, I want Bivol to go to super middle to be undisputed there. If he, wait for it to move up so I can read it. I want Bivol to go to super middle to be undisputed there. If he becomes undisputed at light heavy. That could absolutely happen. That could absolutely happen. I wonder if we'll get more than one fight from Bivol and Baturbiev, depending on how competitive it is. Bon Scott says Anderson is just doing what Tank does, going through the motions and making money. They ain't interested in any kind of glory. Yeah, I don't like that attitude. I just can't stand that I'm going to just make as much money and I don't care who I fight. Well, you'll care when nobody's paying anymore to see your fights, Mr. Anderson. The announcement video was fire, Puro says. Yeah, that announcement video, they put some thought into that, the little action scenes. And everybody did a great acting job like they had been in some movies before. Even Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren did their thing, Yeah, I thought I like that promo better than all the others. Day of Reckoning and Knockout Chaos. I like this one the best. thought the other ones were kind of weird, especially the Day of Reckoning. The Blue Baron says, "What's going on with Queensberry versus Matchroom? I've been super busy not keeping up with boxing news." Yeah, we got Deontay Wilder on Eddie Hearn's side. He's the captain. We got Hergovich on that side. Golly, I'm trying to remember everybody. We got Daniel Dubois, of course, and Zhang over with Queensberry, and Nick the Wrecking Ball. I believe he's with Eddie Hearn. Yeah, Eddie let the cat out of the bag with Nick the Wrecking Ball before he could even take his mask off. Hopefully, Dubois versus Hergovich will be for the IBF. Did you guys hear? Shout out to Kurt, Counterpunch Boxing News. Kurt, he was talking, played a video of Hergovich talking about he's going to retire if he can't beat Dubois. Like, Dubois is that much of a scrub. The Blue Baron says, yeah, I saw an interview with Anderson talking about retirement, which is crazy considering he's 24. He just doesn't seem interested. He sounds like he wants to make his money and vacate the premises. And sounds like if he can get easy fights overseas too and just get interest from his ring walks, he's content with that as well. I don't get it. I don't get it. Puro says it's a parody of a British called Lock, Stock. Oh, okay. I got to check that out. I'm going to have to check that out. That sounds, they did a great job on it. Eddie Hearn said they spent 6 hours at that table filming. He and Mr. Frank Warren. Mr. Prodigal Chung says interim IBF title. Oh, okay, I got you. Popcorn says Dubois versus Hergovich, another great fight. Yeah, Hergovich talking about he's going to retire if he loses to Dubois. He's talking about, like, in his words, F it, and like Dubois is just a scrub because he talked in the press conference about beating Dubois and sparring, and Dubois was like, I've improved, and he's like, I hope you've improved since then. Hergovich, he's an interesting guy. Mr. Prodigal says Usyk still has the IBF title, plus bringing it into the undisputed fight. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's some talk about Hergovich stepping in case something with like Usyk pulls out or something. Oh, and then your boy Luis Ortiz called out Jared Anderson. He wants to fight Jared Anderson. I don't want to see that. Popcorn Boxing says I think Hergovich wins, but I'd love to see Dubois win. Yeah, that's a tough one for me. I've been trying to decide who I think is going to win that fight. Bon Scott says he didn't retire when he probably lost to Zhang and had a total bore fest against Mark DeMori. Yeah, that Mark dude. I was like, what is he doing in the ring? Trouble Laker in the building. Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for tuning in. He said, yep, that one. Adore says, salute. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming through. We got Teddy Ted in the building, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. He says Daniel Dubois is going to sleep. He said, I guess he's saying Hergovich is going to put that dude nighty-night. Bring the pillow, huh? I'm still trying to decide, man, because Hergovich is making Daniel sound like he just whooped that dude so bad in sparring. Like if I lose this, I need to go just do something totally different. It will potentially be for the full IBF title as either Fury or Usyk gets stripped. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man, that fight too, man. That's going to be a tough fight, Fury or Usyk. Teddy says, ain't got long. Won't be long now. What did the monkey say when he got his tail cut? Won't be long now. I like that. Mr. Prodigal says Puro would have been, oh, he's talking about, okay. Phantom injury for Dubois. Ah, you think that's going to happen? Yeah, I hope everybody stays healthy for these fights because the fight's not till June 1st, so we got a while. You know, I keep hearing AJ might get the winner of Dubois versus Hergovich. Mr. Prodigal Chung says facts. Him or Vinny Jones. Bon Scott says Sheik ordered Wilder like ordering a pizza. Yeah, Mr. Turkey definitely wants Fury to win the fight against Usyk. That is a fact. He wants Fury and AJ definitely. So Usyk might want to try to knock Fury out. I don't know. Scorecards might be a little funny. Reality will kick in and he will play hurt. Oh, you're talking about Dubois? I hope not, man. He made a good representation of himself against the other big baby, um, Jarrell Miller. The Blue Baron says, I got Fury beating Usyk. It looks like Fury's taking this seriously for a change. Yeah, he was talking crazy in the press conference, talking about he's Lennox Lewis and Usyk is Holyfield. Mr. Prodigal, oh, okay. Adore says Zilly Zhang versus Deontay Wilder. Yeah, that's a dangerous fight, man. Both guys got to be alert. You can't take a round off when you got two guys that can punch like that. What you think about Warren holding hands with? Yeah, I saw that with the Sheik. I suppose it's their culture, but Frock was going in hard. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, It's like, yeah, that's just part of their culture. And Frank Warren didn't. He wouldn't. He didn't think it was cool for Frock to run his mouth like that. Yeah, that's. I guess that's just part of their culture. Us from these other states, try to. I don't know. That's just yeah. Froch read a little too much into that. Teddy says Sheik ordering these boxers like Lambos. Yeah, ain't he? This dude is like putting money down. Special K in the building. Thanks for coming through. Says I watched the Hergovich interview this morning, and he said his fight with Dubois could be for the IBF strap. The winner faces Josh. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Trouble Lakers says captains get double points in this 5 versus 5 tournament. Do they? I did not know that. I was wondering how all the rules and everything was going to play out. Looks like they were getting hot under the mask. I saw when they take them off, Deontay was rubbing his face. Looked like he said he was hot. Yeah, man. The Blue Baron said Warren's a shady guy. I done a video about Warren, how he seemed to kind of step over Joe Joyce when he lost to Zhang. I was like, come on, Frank. Doing the old Don King maneuver. Come in with one fighter and leave with the other. Come on, homie. Vaughn Scott says, May. Mr. Prodigal Chun. Oh, yes, that's right. Was Wilder's mask too heavy for the presser? Yeah, I know, huh? I know. Do we got to get the excuses ready already? Like, oh, my mask messed me up in the presser, so hey, I couldn't train properly. I would still get Malik Scott up out of there before this fight. I'm just not sold on Mr. Malik. I still don't know how you could teach a guy how to fight when, like I said, Deontay got you up out of there so fast. Queensberry plus Matchroom equals should join forces, team up, and merge work together. Well, that's what they're doing right here. That's what they're doing right now. But I guess you mean permanently. Yeah, they might because the money talks, as they say. So if the money's right, people kind of squash their proverbial beefs. They drop them real fast when money comes into the picture. Know what I mean? But I'm excited about it. I mean, the way that the Saudis are putting these fights together, they're just doing different things. We've never seen anything like this. They make it interesting. Especially to the younger generation. They like that wrestling feel to it, coming in with the mask and stuff. Especially after they just had WrestleMania. The Blue Baron says Warren shows are terrible. His undercards always suck. I hate bad undercards. And that Jared Anderson last fight was kind of crazy. Mr. Prodigal Chung says, I certainly hope they didn't strip whoever wins the undisputed fight, as I think Usyk would continue win or lose. If Fury loses, probably he will retire. Fury wins Wembley versus Joshua for sure. Oh, interesting. You got Fury over Joshua, huh? I used to, but this current AJ, I'm going with AJ. I used to think Fury would win though. I think AJ's getting better and Fury's kind of going the opposite way, but we'll see May 18th what Fury has left in the tank. Bon Scott says Malik is a snake oil salesman. You cannot make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, as my old mom used to say. Yeah, I get the sense Malik be trying to, talk a good game. And Deontay said he didn't want his camp basically kissing up. He said that in the press conference. Don't just tell him basically what they think he wants to hear. So it looks like Deontay's coming in focused. He said the boxing had left a bad taste in his mouth, and now he's ready to fight again. So maybe he had his wake up call looking bad against Mr. Joseph Parker. Special case says Hergovich has an issue with training. On one hand, he's training to be the replacement for Fury if he pulls out, but he's signed to fight Dubois. The man is training to fight both Southpaw and Orthodox. That's a good point. Yeah, he's got to make up his mind who he's training for. Malik Scott is not a good boxing trainer for Dion. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. If I was Deontay, this is his biggest fight coming up. He's basically saying what Hergovich is saying. Basically, if I don't win this, it's his last stance, last chance. So you want to make sure you have a quality trainer in there. The Blue Baron says Fury won't retire. He's a manic depressive without boxing. He's got nothing. Yeah, and Prince Turkey wants him to fight about 10 more times. Prodigal says, no, I mean, if Fury beats Usyk, him versus AJ at Wembley would be next for all the belts. Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, that'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Warren Jackson, shout out to you. Thanks for coming through. Says, I'm worried Wilder will get hurt. I think he's going to get hurt, too. I don't think he can. He's had a lot of wars with Tyson Fury, and I don't see. Zane can punch. He didn't look great against Parker, and he knows that, so he's got a point to prove. I think Zane is going to win, but I want Wilder to win, but I don't think he's going to. Personally, I think AJ should rematch Parker. Yeah, you see Parker's call-out song to AJ and Dillian? Brian Bomack would be a good boxing trainer I think that would be a good trainer for Deontay. Frank Warren said Tyson Fury does everything better than AJ, and it's harder too. Frank Warren must have been smoking a nice one when he said that. Take notice of spars. Dubois was just a giant kid when he sparred Hergovich. I think he got teenager status against Miller. Yeah, that was a long time ago. AJ versus Parker would be brilliant. Yeah, they need to run that back anyway. That was a close fight, and the ref kept doing too much. I like the matchmaking in this card. Yeah, it's one of the best cards ever. All relevant fights. Looking forward to Ford versus Ball. Yeah, I like Nick Ball. And Ammo versus, I was saying I got to up my game on those last two. The Blue Baron says the ref ruined the first fight. Yeah, he ruined it, man. Every time Joseph Parker tried to let his hands go, the ref was like, nope, do not punch. You're supposed to just walk around. You do not punch. Mr. Prodigal says Parker is on a revenge tour. He should avenge his losses. White, AJ, and Joyce. Yeah. And he's a funny guy, too. Them songs he was making are classic. I like Joseph Parker's sense of humor. He's this laid back, mild mannered, quiet guy. He's got it. He's kind of got my personality. I'm quiet in person, but, I have a good sense of humor. If Zane comes in 290 again, I don't know, man. I might pick Wilder, but if he comes in around 280, 275, I got Zane. Zhang is favored for the first 4 rounds. After that, I favor Deontay. And he's got to let his hands go. That was ridiculous against Parker. He's just walking around and, every time he gets hit, he's making an expression like, I was like, dude, that's not going to win you the fight, Chief. So, yeah, he's got to let his hands go. Jalalov versus Anthony Joshua. Yeah, I don't think that fight will happen because Joshua wants to retire in 2 years, and this guy's career is just starting. It would be a good fight though, but I don't see that ever happening. I think the other guy is just starting, and Joshua's ready to hang it up shortly. But it would be electric. I had posted a notification that I was going to go live for that Jared Anderson fight. And the more I thought about it, I was like, no, this fight's going to be trash. And sure enough, it was straight garbage. So I'm glad I didn't go live for the Jared Anderson fight. Looks like Michael Hunter had a fight too, and he lost a 10-round decision. He just had a fight like less than a month ago in Mexico, or close to a month. So I don't know what's going on with Michael Hunter. I saw him fighting an ex NFL player, one rounder. I didn't even know that took place. So I don't know what's going on with Mr. Michael Hunter. He never looks like he's in the best shape either. Bon Scott says, unfortunately for Zhang, as bad as Wilder is, he sells, and Zhang, unless he gets KO'd, will lose any decision. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yep. Zhang is gonna have to let his hands go because he's not gonna win a decision. I'll salute to Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Y'all go subscribe to Bruce Gas, y'all. Salute to you too, man. I appreciate that. Bruce says, I know Hunter's advisor. He's gonna come on the show soon. Oh, I'd like to see that. I've been watching a lot of Michael Hunter's interviews. I don't quite know where to place him in the division. I don't quite know where to put him. Hunter should just go back down to cruiserweight. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the heavyweights are just a little bit too much. He's not a real big guy. Adder says Michael Hunter lost against Artem. Yeah, he sure did. Artem Sluslenkov. Yeah, Michael Hunter was looking like he had enough at the end of that fight. He's in the corner while they taking off his gloves. He's like, "Hey man, hurry, get these gloves off." Artem Sluslenkov is a very good heavyweight prospect for them Russians and Ukrainians, man. You can't have step with them. You cannot have step with the Russians and the Ukrainians. Shout out to my dude Vlad Sarenko, 20 wins, 17 KOs. I should be having him back on shortly. Laugh out loud. Hunter's advisor should be fired in special cases. Oh, for all your rap fans, I got an interview coming up with Alonzo Williams, who's pretty much responsible for West Coast hip hop, from the World Class Wrecking Crew. He's the one that started the Dr. Dre's and the Cubes. So I got an interview coming soon with Alonzo Williams of the World Class Wrecking Crew. Y'all seen Straight Outta Compton? His character was the guy that told him they need to be working on them R&B songs. He said that he didn't act like that. He said he's walking around smoking. He's like, I don't smoke. He's like, they all had 40s. He's like, we didn't even drink, but they just threw that in the movie. Shout out to Alonzo Williams. Shout out to Dusty Vision TV as well. I was on Dusty Vision TV a while back. He says, or Super Cruiser. Yeah. Michael Hunter's going to pull off a big upset. Mark my word. Hey, he could. He could. Maybe just take, sometimes it takes the right opponent to pull greatness out of you. Bruce Gas salute, Adore says. You got Beterbiev, or I got Bivol, but I wouldn't be mad at you if you got Beterbiev. I think Bivol just outboxes him, and I think he can probably stand up to the power as well. As many amateur fights as Bivol's had, I'm pretty sure he's seen every style you can possibly come at him with. Bivol is a true definition of what Lennox Lewis calls a pugilist specialist. Shout out to Lennox Lewis. I got to get that interview with Lewis. I need to talk to Coach James about that. He said him and Lennox Lewis talk about every day, so I got to get Lennox Lewis on the platform, y'all. That would be a dream come true. Who you got, Bond? You got Beterbiev or Bivol? Some people say Beterbiev. I think it's Beterbiev. Beterbiev doesn't sound right. It's the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Emphasis and syllable. You get that? Where did your comment go, Charlene? Charlene said, I need his this comment. I wonder how Wilder will cope with Zhang and his big self working him down. Yeah, I don't think I don't think Deontay really knows what's coming. I think Zhang is. I mean, people were kind of judging Zhang by his last fight. But Zhang is dangerous, man. Dudes that spar with Zhang come out the ring like, wow, that dude. Even Joseph Parker said he's never been hit by anybody like Zhang, and Joseph Parker fought Wilder last. So, what does that tell you? At a races, Lennox Lewis versus Ika Abuchi would have been a very good boxing match. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been. I got Lewis though. Bond says I got Bivol too, skilled and can perhaps better negate Viterbiev's power. Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think Viterbiev lets his hands go enough to beat Bivol, and unless he catches Bivol with a surprise punch, I just don't think he's gonna win. I know Tony from Tony's Reviews has Beterbiev, but me and him very rarely see eye to eye when it comes to these matches. I think he picked Ngannou against Joshua too. Tony, I like his reviews though. Them reviews about the weights and all that. Shout out to Tony's Reviews. Go subscribe to my dude Tony. Warren Jackson says Parker got a good boxing brain. Wilder is empty up top. Yeah, Parker made Wilder not even want to throw the right hand. I think Wilder got hit with something that made him cautious. I don't think he was just cautious because his timing was off. I think he didn't let his hands go because he thought if I do, I might get clipped. Parker's power is underrated. Parker can thump a little bit. You saw Zhang wasn't letting his hands go too much either. But Turby have been down before. I don't think he has, but don't quote me on that. Wilder left that brain on the ayahuasca trip. Yeah, he got to leave that alone. He has to. That'd be the first thing I would tell him if I was JD's or Malik Scott. I'd be like, you got to leave all that alone, dude. You got to leave the dark spiritual stuff alone too. I have a feeling Dubois will win. I'm hoping Dubois wins, Charlene. I'm hoping Dubois wins. I just like him. Seems like a real good kid. You know, you never hear him say anything over the top like a Jarrell Miller. So, yeah, I want Dubois to win. I think he can do it. Hergovich's mind sounds like it's in a weird place right now. He's talking about retiring if he loses, and he's basically calling Daniel Dubois a scrub, like just because he beat him in sparring. You know how long ago that was? The way you start out in boxing is not necessarily what you end up like. You know that sparring's to improve your skills. I saw an interesting video from Danny Garcia and his dad talking about fighters spar too much too. They said you shouldn't be sparring all that much. That ruins careers. They were talking about Sugar Ray Robinson wouldn't spar that much, and then some were like, well, yeah, because he was having a fight every month. So that was interesting. The Blue Baron says, what's going on with Michael Hunter? I always thought he was decent. Yeah, I think he just, I don't know myself. He's a big question mark. I think he's got skills. He just never seems in top shape to me. Warren Jackson, I'm going with Triple D. Yeah, me too, man. I think I'm going to go with Triple D on this one. I think he's on a high from his win over Big Baby Miller. So I think he's got his, I don't say his courage back because he never lost it necessarily, but whatever made him stand up to those punches is going to make him stand up to Hergovich. Now, Hergovich can hit harder than Big Baby Miller, of course, and he's taller. Adorace is Jared Anderson versus yeah, I want to see that. I was gonna talk about that. I think Jared Anderson versus Fabio Wardley would be a good match for both. Anderson has to step it up, man. We ain't watching no more snooze fest, dude. And Wardley will give you a match. You think, yeah. If you don't know you want to box, you'll know at the end of the fight in Wardley. You'll know if you want to hang it up or keep going because Wardley will definitely be in your face. And of course, like I said, Luis Ortiz just called out Jared Anderson. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think Jared Anderson will blow. I think Jared Anderson blows Luis Ortiz out the ring at this point. I think Luis Ortiz has nothing much left. But if he wants to still box, who am I to tell him not to? But Turbiev is an old man now, 39 years of age. He's fighting Bivol and Father Time. Wow. No money at cruiserweight. Why the best ones move? Yes, Holyfield moved up from cruiserweight. I love to see Wardley versus Anderson. Yeah, me too. At this point, I think I go with Wardley. He wants to fight. Wardley wants to fight. So you're fighting. You take a guy that wants to fight versus a guy that doesn't want to fight. I'm gonna go with the guy that wants to fight. I think Wardley would do it for free. Anderson definitely ain't fighting for free. Bon Scott says, because Daddy Cool is looking for another scout. Daddy Cool, that's right. Daniel Dubois, a.k.a. Daddy Cool, is back, y'all. 5 versus 5. Shout out to Quan Big Guns, y'all. Quan Big Guns with the big guns. He says, what's up, Jay Roos? What's up to you, homie? What's up to you? Thanks for coming through. Matchroom's roster is looking US. Yeah, it is looking US based. Yeah, it's a good point. Never thought I'd see Wilder and Eddie Hearn on the same side. You never know. Money can change things, can it? Special cases. Ortiz is now 45 years old. Would that fight get commissioned? I think he's actually older than that. But yeah, I think he'd if he passed all his tests, I think he could do it. Hey, I'm 51 and I can do it. You know, I got hands, so I don't have the wear and tear on me that though. I work out like a maniac too. You guys would be shocked if you saw the stuff I do. Yeah. For Bon Scott says Foreman fought at 45 for a world title. Yep, and knocked out a 26-year-old Michael Moore. I saw that fight when it happened. I was like, oh. Michael Moore made the crazy mistake of standing in front of George Foreman, and you don't do that. And it's like Joe Rogan said, when Foreman fought Michael Moore, that was a genuine 45. They didn't have all the supplements and electronic technology they got now to help keep you youthful. So when Foreman fought Moore, that 45 was a legit 45. There were no weird substances in his body. That was all the Most High and George Foreman. Ortiz should retire. He is old and must have health issues. Tell us what you really think, Charlene. But I kind of feel for him because he's trying to make money, for his situation. He's trying to make money for his situation. He might need the money. But like I always say, boxing's something you don't want to play around with. 'Cause you don't want to get permanently injured. And it's a tough sport. I think it's the toughest sport out there. Might be tougher than mixed martial arts because it's more headshots. MMA is more, the blows are throughout the body. And boxing is just, you take a lot of head trauma. They robbed George Foreman in the Shannon. Yeah, absolutely. At the races, they robbed George Foreman in his fight with Shannon Briggs. Yeah, they absolutely robbed him. Robbed him big time. Shannon Briggs looked surprised that they gave him that decision. I thought Foreman really beat Tommy Morrison too, but he kind of took his foot off the gas, like he almost felt sorry for Morrison. It was strange. It was a real strange fight with Foreman and Michael Moore. But yeah, they did rob Foreman against Briggs, in my opinion. Yeah, boom. But I forget where I left off. But I give you guys some time to come back in. J. Roos Theory live and direct. Y'all go subscribe to my backup platform at WJ, the world's most dangerous boxing platform, where I talk about pretty much anything I want to. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Sorry for the delay. I had to go handle some business. Yeah, I think we're talking about George Foreman, Michael Moore. Thanks, Adary. He says if George Foreman would have won that fight, he would have fought Lennox Lewis. Yeah, that would have been crazy. Foreman said he didn't want no parts of Lewis, and I believe him. He used to say it in a joking way, but I think he was serious. Yeah, I think Lewis would have given Foreman fits. They both would have felt each other's power, though. That's for sure. That is for sure. Bro, you missed some comments. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to go. Handle some business real quick. Let me see if I can go back and read them. He said, I thought that was my Google phone. Ortiz went pro very late, probably why he's still fighting. Foreman said in an interview that the game plan was to purposely not hit Moore with full power and lure him into a fake sense of security, then unleash when the moment. Yeah, and Michael Moore didn't believe him. He was like, "Oh, that's bull." Yeah, I think it was true. I think it was true. I think Foreman did do that to him. Even Teddy Atlas talked about, I forget what fighter it was, but he purposely would punch like over to this side of the face or this side for like 9 rounds, and then he just slid it over like in the 10th and knocked the guy out. He just got the guy comfortable with blocking and moving from there, and then nope, I'm gonna slide it over a little bit, pow. Now that is true skill when you can keep the discipline to kind of, I don't say miss a shot, but punch off to the side. I mean, that's the art of boxing right there. There's not too many fighters that would have the discipline to stick with that game plan because a lot of them would be like, well, I don't want to get knocked out while I'm waiting to implement my game plan. But I thought that was a. I'd like to see that fight too. If I remembered which fighters he was talking about, I would go check that out because I'd really be interested in seeing that. You know what I mean? So what's going on with y'all? Like I said, Jared Anderson failed to impress. Uh, Michael Hunter loses a decision in 10 in Russia. Don't know what's next for him. Um, who wins Michael Moore versus Chris Bird, the Battle of Detroit Heavyweights? Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm going to say Michael Moore. I know Bird could frustrate him, but Michael Moore still could punch harder. He was a harder puncher at light heavyweight, but he can still punch a little bit at heavyweight. So I'm gonna say Michael Moore. I think Chris Bird. would have a lot of successful rounds moving around, but I think after a while, Michael Moore would probably just hurt the dude. I don't know if he would stop him, but I'd say Moore. That's a tough one, man. Chris Bird used to clown around too much for me. I didn't really like watching him. And you knew he wasn't going to knock his opponent out. He just sit there and make faces. And it's like, it might be different if he could knock somebody out, but just to see him clowning around, it's like, I don't really like all that. I don't really like to see fighters play around like that too much. It seems like they're not taking it seriously. All it takes is one good knockout, and for the person that's clowning around to get knocked out while they're playing around, and I think they'll stop all the clowning around. You don't play boxing. You don't play boxing, but what did Creed tell Drago? Some people have to learn the hard way. There's a lot going on in boxing right now. Boxing is definitely back. Boxing is back in a major way. In a major way. We're getting the fights we want to see. The Turbiev Bivol and the undercard is almost like a main event. I don't think anybody's going to want to tune in late for this card. One of the best cards in boxing history. Reminds me of the old cards Don King used to put on. You might have paid a lot of money, but you got your money's worth. Speaking of money's worth, I had this great tuna. I don't know what it was on a croissant from this place called it's fruity or something out here in Atlanta. Man, that thing was on hit. Man, it wasn't big enough, but man, I ended up getting like three of those joints later the same day. Man, that thing was good. Ike Abuchi versus Ray Mercer. Oh yeah, that'd be nasty fight right there. I think Ike might pull it out, but I don't know, man. Ray was tough. Them dudes both have chins. Oh man, I got Ike slightly by decision, not knockout. Man, that would be. I wish. I wish. Man, I wonder. I wish that fight had happened, man. I don't think I ever seen Ray Mercer in a boring fight. Charlene says, "How do you think if Usyk has been preparing for Tyson for years? Would you be surprised if he turned orthodox at some point in the fight? He might, just to throw Tyson Fury off. I don't know if Tyson is prepared for that. So I think Usyk will be doing all kind of things because he knows he has to almost go over the top to get a decision win, and he may knock Fury down, but he's gonna have to keep him down possibly to get a decision. We could be looking at another Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis one where it's one sided and then we get a draw. Like, huh? No, that's not a draw. If you win almost every round, that is not a draw. No, it's not. No, it is not. Can I just say Ike Abuchi never achieved nothing and ain't worth let me read the rest. It ain't worth mentioning, just saying. You don't like Ike, huh, man? I thought Ike would have been a great heavyweight, and seems like he's got his head together, and I'm for giving everybody a second chance, man. I mean, let's cast the first stone. We've all made huge mistakes. It's just when you're in the public eye, yours is visible for everybody to see. So I'm for Ike coming back. He's still in shape. I think he can do it. I think he can definitely do it. People don't realize how powerful the mind and your will is. Your mind can will you through a whole lot. Your body can be fatigued, ready to collapse, and your mind says stay up. Your spirit says stay up. So I think I can do it. Of course, people are going to say he's too old. Here we go with that argument. Y'all, speaking of too old, did y'all see the footage of Mike Tyson doing sprints? Jake is in trouble, dude. I don't care. Jake is in serious trouble. It was like someone was saying in my comments about Mike Tyson abusing his body, which he has with the drugs and the weed. So just think of it this way. If Mike has done all that damage to his body and he still looks better than Jake, what does that say about Mike Tyson's natural ability? If he can damage his body for decades and be in an advanced age and still look more physically imposing than Jake Paul, still be the faster man in the ring, have the better ring IQ, only thing you guys are giving Jake is his age. Oh, he's 27. Well, that's not going to mean anything. It's not going to mean anything. Like I said, there's not a 20-year-old on this planet that can even stagger me. And that's not my ego talking. Picture me losing to some 20-year-old. I wish a 20-year-old would. I read that. Eddie Hearn trying to fatten up Wilder so AJ can feast. I was looking at Wilder at the press conference and just his face looked fuller. I thought he looked I don't know how many shirts he had on under there, but he looked like he was bigger, which he's going to need to be against Zhang. If he comes in at anything under 220, he's in serious trouble. He's in serious trouble. You can't weigh like 214 against Zhang. You're just going to get clobbered. Zhang is very heavy-handed, and I've heard that from Coach James himself, who's had people go in there and spar with Zhang. They said this dude can punch. He can punch. So and that southpaw style, see, that's another element to throw in there that I don't know that Deontay's ready for. I don't know how many southpaws Wilder has fought to this point, but Zhang is a monster. Mike Tyson built different. Yeah, Mike Tyson is different. People keep acting like he's just some dude on the street that's 57. This is Mike Tyson. Look what he did at a young age. Do people think the minute you have another birthday, you can just, call up the hospital, bring my walker? This dude is Jake Paul, really? Jake Paul? Wait, come on, man. Man, I would beat the brakes off Jake Paul for free. You ain't even got to pay me, Jake. If you want to fight somebody, fight me, dude. I'll fight you for free. You ain't even got to pay me, dude. For real. Wilder should change his name to, what is that? Annabelle. If you know, you know. Inside joke. Annabelle. What is that name? What is Annabelle? What is that? I've heard that. Special K. Last time I heard someone named Special K was in the Breaking movies. Remember that? Y'all see the Breaking movies from the 80s? Turbo, Kelly, and Ozone, TKO. See, Boxing Connection, TKO, Turbo, Kelly, Ozone. Kelly's name was Special K in that movie. Lucinda Dickey played Special K. Y'all better check that out. Breaking 1 and then Electric Boogaloo. Breaking 2, y'all better ask somebody. Y'all can see Ice-T in that movie looking goofier than ever with his big ski glasses on. Ice-T was looking crazy in that movie. Had the spikes on. It's like this dude doing rock or rap. Like he couldn't decide what he wanted to do. I like 80s movies though, y'all. Seems like a lot of people like 80s movies too because they're doing a lot of reboots from the 80s. TV shows and movies. Oh yeah, don't forget y'all to sign up for my memberships. I got bronze, silver, and gold, and you'll get your questions answered first. You'll get members only videos and live streams and all kind of perks and stories that I'll tell that I won't tell on my normal videos. So if you want to become a member, you can become bronze, silver, or gold, and I would appreciate it if you did so. If not, no harm, no foul. Still a J. Roos Theory, 2024. Why are these questions like, right? What is. But yeah, y'all, I'm really looking forward to this Queensberry versus Matchroom, man. And we haven't seen anything like this in recent memory. We just haven't seen it. The Saudis know not only how to put together a good card, but they obviously know how to market it. Because us, I mean, you ain't even got to be a hardcore boxing dude to or female to enjoy what you saw. You could be a casual and be like, man, this gonna be all that. So they know how to put together what we want to see, and they know how to market it to make you want to see it even more. So this is something special. We're gonna look back on these days and we'll be like, man, we had something special. This is the best boxing has been in a while, and this is the best, most talked the heavyweight division has had since the Lennox Lewis era with Holyfield and Mike Tyson and Razor Ruddock. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get Razor Ruddock on the show too, y'all. I want to get Ray Mercer, David Tua. I want to get some of those guys in. That would be great. That would be really great. Wilder said Hearn was a white man milking a black man, and Joshua, yeah, he was talking crazy like that, wasn't he? And Joshua should change his name to Annabelle. Oh, the cow. Oh, that's where it comes from. I knew I had heard it somewhere. So now Wilder might have to change his name, huh? He's going that Toby route, huh? Yeah, that's why Wilder should kind of watch what he says. Bruce guesses, did you see Razor on my show Saturday? I saw that you had him on, but I didn't. I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. Yeah, I saw your headline that you had on Razor Ruddock. Yeah, I want to hear that because I saw his fight he had not too long ago in Jamaica with James Toney, and Razor Ruddock's uppercut was something fierce. It was fierce. Lennox Roos in the building. He says, checking in. What did I miss? Oh, we're just talking about Matchroom versus Queensberry, 5 versus 5. Looked like a WWE. Everybody came in mass at the press conference. Nobody knew except the promoters who was fighting who. So it's like teams, Eddie Hearn's team against Frank Warren's team. Shout out to my son, Lennox Roos. Y'all go subscribe to his platform. The El Roos theory, y'all. Adore says, I always wanted to see Vander Holyfield. Oh, that would have been crazy. Holyfield versus Ruddock. Yeah, I wonder why that fight never happened. I think I got Holyfield, but it would have been a slug fest. Both guys probably would have got rocked. Bruce Gas says he surprised me. Razor Ruddock, and you mean in that fight with James Toney? Are you talking about? Special case says can't stand fighters who get too caught up in their skin color. Yeah, that's crazy to me too. Yeah, yeah, we're all born, the race we are. We had no say in it, so why go ham on it? Like, my race is better than yours. You had nothing to do with your race. Razor talked about Holyfield and told us why he thought that fight was. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Razor talked about you all hear that? Razor Ruddock was on Bruce Gas talking about why he never fought Holyfield. I got to hear that. I don't think I've ever thought about that fight, but that would have been a big fight. I want to hear why that didn't happen. It's probably promotional. A lot of these promotional companies don't like to join forces. Prince Turkey said, I had enough of that. Y'all gonna give us the fight we want or else. Or the fights we want or else. You know what I mean? Watch the interview in the beginning. Okay, yeah, man, I'm gonna check it out. You had on Razor Ruddock, man. Donovan Razor Ruddock. Man, Ruddock, that kind of a hooker uppercut, that hooker cut he gave Michael Dokes, one of the hardest punches that I've seen to this day. That looked like Michael Dokes' head was about to come off. He hit him so hard. If he had stood up to that, I'd have been like, man, this dude's chin is indestructible. I don't know any heavyweight in history, even with the greatest of chins, that would have stood up to that. I don't know who would have stood up to that uppercut. that Razor Ruddock gave Michael Dokes. That was nasty. That was worse almost than the um, Ngannou Overeem uppercut, if you ask me, because Ruddock came down like from the ankles and threw it. It was nasty. Definitely one of the best uppercuts I've seen in boxing. Man, the uppercut is a dangerous punch, man. No matter where it lands, your nose, your chin. I mean, I saw a bare knuckle fight where a dude got, I think Lennox Lewis posted it, where a dude got hit and his nose, you could see his nose breaking right there on the spot. It just shifted. Trouble Laker says Frank said he would be open to teaming up with Eddie Hearn to take on American promoters. Would be interesting. That would be interesting. Yeah, let's get it going, man. Let's get all these fights that we want to see. Everybody, when the money talks, people come together and they squash their differences. Excuse me, y'all. Ike Abuchi versus Razor Ruddock would have been a very good boxing match. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to say draw on that one. I don't even know what to pick. I'll say a draw. Bobby in the building. What's up with you, man? I appreciate that. He says Wilder painted himself into a corner, had to resort to earn with Hearn bars. His fans, sheep, trying to big up this move. He sounded like a desperate man on that podium. Yeah, Wilder's fans are kind of different, aren't they? They're very different. They get real emotional, and Wilder gets emotional. Every time I see Wilder now, he's talking about we risk our lives. Yeah, okay, man, we know that. I mean, I think is he thinking about that when he's in the ring? Because if you, like they say in football, if you play not to get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. So if you go into boxing worried about risking your life, you might get your head flown out the time zone. But yeah, like I was saying, looked like Deontay cut his dreads off too. I'm not sure. Ike would have knocked out Ruddock. Oh, Bruce Gass said Ike would have knocked out Ruddock. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that would have been a pay-per-view worthy fight if I do say so myself. I thought one of the best fights I've ever seen action-wise was Tommy Morrison versus Razor Ruddock. That fight was crazy. I don't know if you all saw it, but it was back and forth like a Rocky movie. Tommy Morrison, Rocky Five. Go check it out. I thought Rocky Five was an underrated movie too. People didn't like it. I thought Rocky Five was cool. I saw it twice when it was in the theater, but I heard people didn't like it because Rocky didn't fight in the ring. He fought in the street. But I thought, he's doing something different. We've seen him fight in the ring. Why not have a street fight? But in the end, Morrison knocked him out. Yeah, Morrison had that when he hit him with that one punch, and then the way Ruddock fell, I was like, oh, he's not getting up, and he got up. I was like, wow, wow. That's how I see a fight with Ike going. Yeah, you're you might be right there, Bruce. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I'm sure Razor Ruddock would feel differently, but yeah, Ike was nice with the hands, man. Solidly built guy. He was ferocious and still looks ferocious. Like I said, y'all go subscribe to my dude Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. You get a lot of great content with the OGs. You get Tim Witherspoon on there, Razor Ruddock, Chet Perry in the building. Shout out to you. Says, hey Jay Roos, hey to you. Hope you're having a great day or night wherever you may be. Hope everything's going great for you. Thanks for tuning in, of course. I almost wish this Matchroom Queensberry fight was before the Usyk Fury in a way. I just been hearing so much about Fury and Usyk. I'm kind of just tired of hearing about it. I just want to see them actually fight. I don't want to see no more press conferences with Fury. Last one he did, I don't even think Usyk was there. I don't even think Usyk was there. It's just Tyson Fury going on his rants, I guess, saying he was Lennox Lewis and Usyk was Holyfield. It's a lot of bees over here, man. Tim Witherspoon versus Razor Ruddock would be a good boxing match. Yeah, it would, man. It would. It's a tough one to pick. I don't know who to pick in that one either. Is there anybody that you guys thought would be on the Queensberry versus Matchroom card that's not there? Like Joseph Parker, maybe, or Anthony Joshua, maybe? That would be crazy, though, if Deontay did knock out Zhang. That would be crazy. Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I don't think it's going to, but it could happen. Witherspoon and Ruddock might still happen in an exhibition. Oh, for real? I definitely got Witherspoon in that. Witherspoon looks great. Witherspoon looks like he's about 30 years old. I saw him in person. We took pictures, and that dude looks very youthful. Yeah, we met up at Xavier's Boxing Club out in Decatur, Georgia. Shout out to my dude, Viking Samurai. He was in the building, got to chop it up with him too. Viking Samurai, still looking to continue his boxing journey and with celebrity boxing. Trouble Laker says no point talking when your opponent speaks broken English. Can you distinguish from the English? Yeah, man. When I listen to some people talk, I'm like, wow, man. Wow. Wow. Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker, too, would be great. Yeah, man. Because both guys have improved. And I kind of thought, I keep saying, I kind of thought Joseph Parker won that first fight, but man, I don't know, man. I would favor Joshua, though, in the rematch. I think he's just physically stronger than Joseph Parker. But both guys with great corners. We got Andy Lee working with Joseph Parker, and we got Ben Davison working with Anthony Joshua. So they got great corners with great fighters. So we know we're in for a night of highlights, and that's for sure. You know what I mean, y'all? Once again, still going. Let's go. Yeah, man, I'm still on here. Excited about this Frank Warren versus Mr. Hearn. I like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn has presence, man. He just looks like he's an important dude, man. He's tall. You know, he's a good-looking guy. He looks like he should be in a movie or something. Eddie Hearn is the next James Bond, y'all. Eddie Hearn. I say Eddie Hearn is the next James Bond. Let's go. Somebody cast Eddie Hearn as the next James Bond. I seen Eddie Hearn like play around boxing too. Look like he got some skills. Did y'all see that Anthony Joshua? I only saw clips on the Jonathan Ross show. That was pretty interesting. He was holding the pads and stuff. Teddy said he's a character. Yeah, man. I was surprised there AJ actually picked Jake Paul over Mike Tyson. He was talking about because of the youth. He'll see when he gets around 50. He'll see he don't feel no different. But he's so young right now. He thinks of 50 as being old and in a rocking chair. When you're in your 20s and 30s, you're like, that is old. 50 is old. Then when you get 50, you're like, man, I feel better than I did in my 20s and 30s. At least I do. Then again, I don't drink, smoke, or cuss or none of that. Hearn versus Ellerby. Ooh, that would be nice. Yeah, that would be real nice. Let's go pay per view. Teddy says, I got Hearn. Yeah, I got Hearn, man. Ellerby's a bit much, man. I can only take so much of Mr. Ellerby. How about Hearn versus Mayweather? Hearn versus Golden Boy. Y'all see that sit down a while back that Eddie Hearn had with Oscar De La Hoya? It was interesting. It's funny how polite people are when they're face to face. I think Henry Cavill is the next 007. Oh, really? I remember hearing talk something about a Will Smith or Idris Elba. They're like, let's make James Bond a black man. I have a video on my NWJ platform about Stevie J calling out 50 Cent to box. I'm like, Stevie J, if you don't stop playing, 50 Cent would beat the brakes off Stevie J. We saw you fight on Love and Hip Hop. Even if it was scripted, you did not look like a fighter, Mr. Stevie J. I guess he thinks because he works out, he can box. Wrong. 50 Cent actually can box street and the ring. Says Smellerby could snort a 1976 VW Beetle. So you're saying he got them Dionne Warwick or Warwick nostrils, huh? Take up all the oxygen. Teddy got the jokes. Teddy Ted. Addery says Dillian White versus Jarrell Miller next would be great. That would have been a good matchup for the Queensberry versus Matchroom. That would have been great, man. I hated that the guy that was leading the press conference cut Hergovich off when he was about to go in on Dubois. And he's like, we'll come back to you later. And then I don't think he went back to him. So I wanted to hear what Hergovich was going to say. If a dude's on a roll, let him finish, man. Tell you, man. Riddick Bowe versus Ray Mercer would have been classic. Yeah, I think Riddick in his prime would have beat Ray Mercer. Riddick was pretty good. Trouble Lakers says 50 Cent wins first round stoppage. That's what I say. Yeah, 50 Cent would beat the brakes off Stevie J. He's 50 Cent is listed at 6 feet. Stevie J was listed at 5'6" or something. I don't know if that's accurate, but he was like 50 Cent's like 218 or 220. Yeah, 50 Cent has broken people's jaws on the street, and he used to do amateur boxing too. So come on, Stevie. I mean, maybe he just wanted the attention, but sometimes you'll get what you ask for. Now he got the Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, Mike Irvin nostrils. Oh, I got you. I got you, Teddy. Oh man. Wow, man, that's too funny. That's too funny. Wouldn't that hurt like snorting stuff up your sinus cavity? I know that can't feel good. I know that can't feel pleasurable. Snorting some powder up your nose, man. Is life really that hard? I mean, I know life is challenging for all of us at times. We've all been through stuff, but is it that bad? Is it that bad? You gotta snort something up your sinuses. Come on now, toughen up, y'all. Kids say no to drugs. Nancy Reagan, yeah, that was her slogan. Just say no. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Remember that one? That's funny how they say, say no to drugs, and then they allegedly brought the drugs into the country. They try to play us as the public. That's why crack came out. Nookers couldn't Nookers couldn't snort. I know, so they're like, yo, break out the glass pipe. Ada says, I wish Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe would happen. Yeah, me too. That's the one that got away from us. That's why I'm hoping Deontay versus Joshua doesn't end up that. Once I saw how bad Deontay looked in his fight against Parker, I didn't even want to see it, but now I'm interested again. That's the sentiment I have when folks talk about them wanting to do psychedelics. Yeah, man. It's like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why do you want to do something that you know is not good for you? If you have to take something that's going to take your mind to another galaxy, bro, like, do you really think that's healthy? Do you really think that's something you should be playing around with? Like, the spirit world is more real than the world you see. It was here first. You might not want to play with the spirit world, Mr. Deontay and Will Smith. I heard Will Smith's audio book. He was playing around with some weird stuff up in Africa too. It's like, y'all, man, y'all do everything but what y'all should do. Turn to Yeshua. It's a lot simpler and it's effective because it's real. It's not going to draw you into sorcery. Pharmakeia, the word we have pharmacy means sorcery in the Greek. Sorcery, witchcraft. Stay away from it. Man, give up on that. When Zhang knocks him back into the Twilight Zone, that fight will be a memorial idea. Zhang is powerful, man. Um, I was trying to see if Deontay looked a little shook when they did their little stare down, because his best bet is to try to maybe just to come out the gates firing, trying to end it fast before Zhang gets warmed up. Because if Zhang gets acclimated to his power, if Deontay just throws the right every now and then and Zhang gets used to it, it's gonna be a long night. And if Zhang just walks through his punches like, huh? And Deontay doesn't seem to be knocking out these top guys. He seems to be knocking out the lower tier heavyweight. So if Zhang walks through his punches, I wonder what Malik's gonna tell him then. Just move around. No, don't move around, man. Let your hands go. Wilder has the athletic ability. I just don't know if his legs can deal with that weight, because Zhang's gonna be trying to clinch him and put that two what, hopefully not 290, but probably 280 on him. And man, them legs of Wilder been looking extra thin lately. But yeah, Zhang is a notch better than Ortiz to me. Yeah, Ortiz is kind of yeah. Ortiz is kind of yeah. I think Zhang is way better than Ortiz though. Yeah, just has to let his hands go. He came in too heavy against Parker. I don't know what he was thinking coming in at 290. Wasn't it 291? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. What if the Zilly Zhang versus Deontay Wilder becomes a draw? I don't see this fight going the distance. Even Malik Scott said, I think he said he'll quit training or something or leave boxing if this fight don't end in a knockout. I don't see any way Zhang and Wilder goes the distance. Anyway, you got two hard punchers in there, and I think Wilder has more wear and tear on his chin than Zhang, so I don't see any way whatsoever Wilder's going to be able to go the distance. I think Zhang just knocks him out. Maybe maybe late, but I think he knocks him out between. Something always seems to happen in round 5 or 8. So in round 5 or 8, look for Zane to get Deontay out of there. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I'd rather see Wilder fight Joshua down the road than Zane versus Joshua. I just don't really want to see Zane and Joshua in the ring. Certain styles don't mesh well as far as the excitement factor. Know what I mean? Y'all go follow me on Instagram too if you choose to. It's Jonathan Roos 619, and the 619 is for San Diego. It can go late for Zhang as his gas tank is suspect. Yeah, especially if he comes in at overweight. I don't know what his trainer was thinking. Like, I know they weigh their fighters in the training camp to get a gauge of where they're gonna be come fight night. So wasn't he putting Zhang on the scales? Like, okay, bro, the fight's in a week and you coming in here at 290. Like, what's up, Chief? Like, what you been just eating like extra cheese on your pizzas? Like, what's going on, homie? Oh, you know, maybe he thought he could hold the weight well, but when you're not letting your hands go and you're just walking around like this, I mean, come on. Ray Mysterio, 619. Yeah, absolutely. He's from a part of San Diego I used to live in, Chula Vista. That's where Ray Mysterio is from. Yeah. I grew up in San Diego, Chula Vista, Southeast San Diego, Mission Valley, even spent some time in El Cajon. I actually lived in a mansion with a waterfall, y'all. A waterfall in the house. It was a mansion. I remember we pulled up there with my buddies. I worked at a casino. We pulled up to the gates. They looked at each other like, "You live here?" Yeah. Don't live there now, but I did. That was my South Fork, I guess. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. What y'all know about Dallas? Jay Roos, why did you leave California? Well, I had got married and California was getting a little expensive, so I thought I needed a change of scenery. Yeah. Lennox Roos says we can join his channel to become members. Thanks, Lennox. Yeah, you tell him, son. Says we can join his channel to become members. We get early videos and other exclusive stuff. Yeah, shout out to Lennox Roos. I appreciate that. Yeah, y'all become members to the J Roos Theory. You won't regret it. You will not regret it. Thank you. Go subscribe to my son, Lennox Roos, the L Roos Theory. J Roos. Oh, I already read that. That's awesome, man. Hoping to have my West Virginian homestead. Oh, that's what's up. That is what's up. I was born in Fairfax, Virginia. I just didn't grow up there. You know what I mean? I'm not a big Georgia guy. My dream is to get a beach house on Mission Valley, but them houses are $2 million. I looked into it, so I'm gonna have to get my bank way up, y'all. $2 million, or you gotta rent the beach house. I don't want to rent. I want to own my own beach house, chill out and listen to Sade while I watch the ocean, watch the tide come in, listen to Smooth Operator. AJ already beat Zhang. Yeah, and the amateurs not fair running again when Zhang passed his prime days. Yeah, that's one reason I don't want to see it. Like they already fought and AJ knocked him down. And I don't know if he stopped him or not, but he definitely knocked Zhang down. I'm sure Zhang's improved since then, but it's just not a fight that I really. Because AJ does great against southpaws anyway, and Zhang's a southpaw, so I got AJ in that. This AJ definitely the old AJ that we were kind of wondering what's going on. I might have picked Zhang, but this AJ, I'm got AJ huge. If he lets them hands go on Zhang, you will see that 290 hit the canvas, and it might be pretty dramatic. Mr. Prodigal. It's an interesting name, Mr. Prodigal Chum. He says, heck, for that brother, you can leave the states. Ever considered? Oh yeah, you could leave the states. Ever consider Costa Rica? No, but I will consider it. There's some definite places I've seen that, yeah, that look real nice outside of America. America's way overpriced. In the San Diego, you're paying for the weather because the weather's so great out there. You're paying for the weather. Only thing in California is you get quakes, but I'm used to the earthquakes. They're so far apart, and I've never been in a major earthquake. But it is weird just sitting there and you start shaking and seeing the lamp swinging like, oh, quake. Oh, whoa. Panama is like Miami and they use USA currency. Oh, for real? I didn't know that. Panama. I have to check that out. My dream home location is, does it say Camel, California or Carmel? I'm having a, when R's and N's are together, I can hardly tell if it's a M or, but I have to Google it and check it out. Man, California is so great, especially compared to Atlanta. Oh my goodness, you can't. It's like a culture shock. Man, sometimes I just pull up videos of streets I used to go to in San Diego, Gaslamp District downtown, Mission Beach, where I filmed a rap video that never got edited and finished. Pacific Beach, Southeast, Mission Valley. Man, man, it's like Paulie said in Rocky Five. You can live a place so long that you almost become that place. Mr. Prodigal says, "Yeah, man, I'm trying to have a spot in the states, but definitely want property abroad, as I'm not sure how long our American empire will be intact." Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should. Yeah, man. America. I always say America's like ancient Rome, except America's like Rome with technology. If ancient Rome had technology, it's like we're destroying ourselves from the inside out. All the perversion, all the weird sickos stuff that they're trying to pass, and all this nonsense. It's like this stuff is from the pit of hell, and yeah, all empires fall at some point. But I don't want to be around. Hopefully, I'll be in the Shamaim. That's heavens in Hebrew, and I won't have to live through it. The land of my forefathers has already fallen to the CCP. Yes, it's sad, man. If you had told me in the 80s and 90s that the weird things that are going on right now, I'd have been like, yeah, right. Like some of the laws I see that they're trying to pass, especially in California, that seems to be Sodom and Gomorrah West out there. I got a cousin who's a teacher down there, or a teacher's aide, and she be telling me all the crazy stuff they be trying to do. I'm like, maybe I got up out of there at the right time. This California now ain't the California that I grew up in. Who are some of your favorite rappers? Well, first of all, I gotta say Tupac. At Tupac, Ice Cube, yeah, yeah. Um, and then probably people. People always say Jay Z and Rakim. I'm not a Jay Z guy. Sure, he's got lyrics, but I don't like. I can't follow. I can't listen to dudes that's playing around with darkness. So Tupac, Ice Cube, um, Lyrically, there's all kind of dudes that got lyric. A lot of lyrical rappers go too far though for shock value. That's what I don't like. You know, you hear a real lyrical guy like Eminem. I mean, dude is super lyrical, but then he goes too far for shock value. So let's see, Tupac, Eminem. I said Tupac, Eminem. Tupac, Ice Cube. Uh, remember the DOC? DOC didn't like that album cover, and he said he got his voice taken for that album cover. He said the Most High took his voice because of his album cover, and he's not even. I don't even think he's a hardcore believer like me. Uh, man, why am I drawing a blank? Um, I used to listen to Big Daddy Kane all the time. Don't agree with a lot of things he says or his religious perspective, but Big Daddy Kane lyrically is a monster. Um, let's see. Oh, Cool G Rap. I think Teddy just said he went to a Cool G Rap, another lyrical guy from back in the day. Yes. See. Wu Tang, I just they were so East Coast, and then they had a lot of stuff I didn't agree with. You know, going against things that I know are true. So Method Man though by himself, Method Man. I'm glad you. Method Man is nice on the mic. Like he put out some stuff recently. I was like, Meth is an underrated MC, man. Yeah, you got to mention Method Man. Out of everybody in that crew, Meth stood out. So and he's you see him, he's all fit now. He's looking great, you know. And so yeah, Method Man definitely has lyrics. Um, yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like I said, I got an interview coming soon, hopefully with Alonzo Williams from the World Class Wrecking Crew, and he's got some stories of West Coast hip hop. Boys in the Hood. The song was recorded at his house, and you know he was with all them dudes back then. I'm gonna try to get DJ Yellow on too. Y'all remember Yellow? He's a Christian now. Yellow from NWA. Yeah, they were all into the 5% stuff. Yeah, man. Big Daddy Kane and them. I always thought Big Daddy Kane was. People always say Rakim, but I thought Big Daddy Kane had a better range than Rakim. Rakim still had that monotone style, and he could, you know, he tried to sign with Dr. Dre, and they clashed. So yeah, I always pick Big Daddy Kane over Rakim. Kool Mo D was lyrical too, but he always had that exaggerated voice, like you know, like throw your hands in the air. That you know that that old school voice where they exaggerated their voice. How you like me now? In addition to Yakub ancient Sumerian theories. Wow. Yeah, I know what that's about. I definitely know what that's about. You know, another thing that's foolish about placing a race over another race and racism is that we don't even know all the different races we have in our bloodline. You know, I mean, how many people are pure anything? I've got German, Swedish, black. I got all kind of stuff in me. So it'd be dumb for me to just be like, yeah, this race is superior. No, this race is superior. Cut your hand and see what color comes out. We all bleed red. We all bleed red. And the Most High is not going to be like, well, I like you because you're black, but I don't like you because you're white. He created both. We didn't create ourselves. See, we can get, if y'all become members, I can get deeper into this stuff. I'll save that for my memberships. You know, you tell too much truth on certain platforms and things get interesting. Now you come with a bunch of falsehoods, you'll thrive. Algorithm city. You start dropping some truth, and you kind of find your channel like, okay, how come they're not getting my notification? Why aren't you getting my notification? Too much truth, man. See, no guy test this man. But yeah, I guess I'm way off track now for Matchroom versus Queensberry. Wonder when the next press conference is. I'm sure they'll have a couple leading up to the fight. Like I said, I hope everybody stays healthy and the card stays intact. If somebody gets injured or hurt, we'll see who pulls in, who steps in for the injured fighter. But I'm hoping everybody that's on the card right now remains on the card. Some of the guys I gotta admit I'm not too familiar with, but you know apparently they're good matchups. I know Dana White must be like, man, this Turkey guy ain't playing around. Like I always say, the UFC puts a lot of the top fighters against each other, and that's what we're getting now that Prince Turkey's in it. And a lot of people still complaining about where the fights are. Matter of fact, speaking of five versus five, where are these fights taking place, y'all? Is this taking place in Saudi Arabia or the UK? Because a lot of people are like, man, we miss fights in the States and the UK. I personally don't care because I'm not going to any of these events really. I might try to go to the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. That's in Texas. But I'm not going to most of these fights anyway, so I don't care if they're in Saudi Arabia. I don't care if the crowd is screaming and jumping from the bleachers. I just want to see the best fighters fight each other. I'm not going to complain about the venue. But you can't please everybody. You make the fights happen, then they complain about the venue. You get the venue, then they complain about the fight. So, what are you going to do? What do you want from me? But why does the undisputed belts look like a UFC belt happening in Saudi? I forgot to mention that. I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. Prodigal. When Roberto Duran came out with the undisputed belt, yeah, it kind of looked like that. So not only is Mr. Turkey turning boxing on its head, he's bringing out his own belt. He's basically saying, forget all y'all WBC, IBF, WBA, WBO, IBO. He's like, forget all y'all. I'm coming out with my belt. My belt's the one that counts because I'm putting on the best fights. So, yeah, that was I had forgotten. I'm glad you mentioned that. I wanted to talk about that. It kind of had a wrestling belt look to it, too, the way it was shiny like that. So we'll see who gets that undisputed belt, man. We will see. Five versus five. Man. And then we got the main event. Beterbiev versus Bivol or Bivol versus Beterbiev. If I was a fighter right now, I would be trying to link up with Mr. Eddie Hearn and the Zone. Yes, I would. Shout out to some platforms that I watch out there. Shout out to a new channel. Y'all go subscribe to your boy in the bunker. Great platform over there across the pond. Go subscribe to him. Um, Counterpunch Boxing News, as you know. My dude Kurt, giving us breaking news. Um, Andrew Tucker World, DT3, the Boom Man. Showbiz the Adult, Boxing Wave, Mr. Boxing Today 2, Boxing on the Edge. There's a lot of great platforms out there, y'all. So we'll see if monopolizes all of boxing. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, this the results of the Fury versus Usyk fight and the results of this five versus five. It'll be interesting to see what happens after that. To see what matches get made, which fights call for a rematch. So it'll be. I don't want any of these fights to hold up the divisions, though. If a fight doesn't call for a rematch, then don't make it a rematch. Because originally we had heard that Joseph Parker and Zhang were supposed to have a rematch. Now I guess they put that on the back burner. So that shows that rematches can be, they can step aside if the moolah's right. You know what I mean? I didn't want to really see Parker Zane anyway. Again, it was a boring fight, and I'm not sure it wouldn't be boring even if Zane came in at a lighter weight. It still might be boring because of the style matchup. Yo, Mr. Prodigal, I think I'm gonna make you moderator there, Chief. I gave you a wrench, Mr. Prodigal. So if anybody comes in and you're talking crazy, you just hit them upside the dome piece with that wrench. Be like, act like you know. Come in here with some manners. Wipe your feet on the rug and your way out. We live in an age of keyboard warriors and internet gangsters and cyber thugs. And as they say, wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Appreciate it, brother. Oh no, I appreciate you, man. You made some great comments, and I like the name too, Prodigal. Definitely an honor. Hey, man, I recognize great comments when I read them, man. Not everybody knows the sport, so you gotta acknowledge the people that know boxing. A lot of people come on here and their feelings, and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. We spoke with Tony. Remember? Oh, okay. Right. Okay. I got you. Oh, when we were talking about the scriptures, I got you. I got you. Yeah, man. Yeah, we were on there for a while. Yes, indeed. I like watching Tony's videos where he's like putting stuff together. When I saw his little weight set that well, not little, it was huge, but he's putting together that thing. I was like, man, he's making my mind hurt. That looks so complicated. It's like, dude, he definitely got skills when you can put that together. I was like, man, that reminded me of the A team when Mr. T and them or B.A. Baracus and them would be building their little contraptions. I was like, man, dude. And he said he built all that without the instructions too. I was like, man, dude. Because I had a big old hoist universal thing that took up half my room, and I had to have the people come in to hook that up. I didn't have a clue. Now I just use dumbbells for everything. I'm like, I'm not. I do dumbbells for everything. Also, my weights, like I said, took up half my room because it was sectioned. So the dumbbells take up not as much space, and also, definitely, my mother got her money's worth when she bought me that as a teenager because I used that thing until it started rocking like this. Definitely got her money's worth. Get a weight vest as well. Yeah, I like those. I like those. What are those things I always see like dudes training with where it's like a thin little strap around their like right under their chest? What is that? I tried to Google it. I'm like, is that to monitor their breathing, their heart rate? I'm like, I can't find any. I don't even know how to describe it when I try to type it in. I'm like, what is that thing? Wind up like Piccolo from DBC. Oh, it's a heart rate monitor. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I always see fighters training with that. I'm like, what is that thing? You got the Darth Vader heart rate monitor. Oh wow. No more Darth Vader impersonations. Yes, yes, Jay. Look who's landed here. Shout out to you, King. Shout out to you, Mickey Dub. You've been down for a minute. Shout out to Mickey Dub. I appreciate you coming through, man. Much love and respect as always. Yeah, Mickey Dub. Mickey Dub. Throw your dubs up. It predicts like VO2 max, etc. It predicts like VO2 max, etc. Wow, that's pretty cool. I wonder where you get them. Guess you can order it on Amazon. Huh? Mickey Dub says laugh out loud. And I've ordered so much stuff on Uber Eats. Man, I should be on the commercial for Uber Eats, man. Uber Eats and Amazon, dude. I must keep them dudes in business for real, man. I order shoes, clothes, everything, groceries, Amazon. They say they started in the garage too. Can you believe that? Amazon and sports performance sites. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I've seen those things so much. I'm like, what are they wearing, man? What is that? Mickey Dub says, so Jay, so who you think's gonna win on Saturday? Oh, I forgot. Man, Haney versus Garcia. Man, I forgot all about that. Didn't Haney just shove Ryan Garcia today or yesterday or something like that? I want Garcia to win. I I'm gonna say Garcia. I'm gonna go out on a ledge. I'm gonna say Garcia. I'm gonna just say it. I know Haney's fought the better competition. He's got the better skills, but I'm gonna just say Garcia. I'm gonna take a chance. Garcia, man. Something's telling me Garcia for some reason. Which one is better, Amazon or eBay? I haven't bought that much off eBay. I would say Amazon. I got Amazon Prime, so I'll be watching Dallas and Creed and Drago, Rocky versus Drago, director's cut. I never get tired of Rocky and Creed movies. I don't get tired of them. Certain movies stand the test of time. I like the format of Amazon better than eBay too. I don't like that bidding on stuff sometimes, you know. And it's only 7:10 here. Wow. Shout out to everybody from the UK tuning in. So I know you guys is like 5 hours ahead. Yeah, I appreciate you, Night Owl, still tuning in to the theory. Whose theory? My theory. Jay Roos theory. Ray says, I like Amazon better too, to be honest. Yeah, man, I've done a lot of business on Amazon, dude. Dude. Mickey Dove says, I understand that the ticket sales ain't doing so good for that fight. Um, what? I forgot what fight we were talking about. Oh, for the Devin Haney. Devin Haney will win, but it will go to the scorecards and they will rob him. All right, my brother, I'm out. Big up to you. Big up to you, Mr. Prodigal. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to Mr. Prodigal. Go subscribe to Mr. Prodigal, y'all. And Mickey Dub says that oh, they're not doing too good, huh? Probably because certain things that were being said, people were probably wondering, is this fight going to even happen? So they were kind of hesitant to buy tickets because I was saying that the fight probably should be postponed or canceled. So people were probably like, I'm not paying this, and then there's no fight happens or somebody else steps in. So yeah, I can imagine the sales ain't doing too great. I don't even know if I'm gonna pay to watch it. I might just tune into Showbiz or Counterpunch or Andrew Tucker or Boxing Wave, one of them. Adore says they should make a heavyweight Grand Prix Ultimate Boxing 12-man tournament. Yeah, Mr. Turkey, do you hear? Do you hear that? I'm sure he'd love to take your idea there, man. Tell him to break you off a bag though for giving him the idea. But I guess I'm about to get off here too, y'all. I've been on here for a minute, and I already worked out, but I got another workout to do later. So probably give me something to eat and chill out for a minute. But we're definitely going to talk more Matchroom 5 versus Queensberry. We're just getting started with that. As we get closer to the fight, we'll get to see each guy training and interviews. So we're definitely going to hit this hard. I might start going live every day. But thanks for watching, y'all. I appreciate it. Make sure to become a member. Like I said, you get videos just for members only. You'll get your questions answered first. You'll get all types of quality content. So if you wish to become a member, make sure you do so. And if you wish to donate to the platform, it's $JRoos33, LSR forever. Thanks to everybody that showed up in the chat. And be fearless. Yay.